Stop everything you are doing right now and really listen to what I'm about to tell you. Because what I'm going to share today is not just another motivational talk or a pleasant message you'll forget by tomorrow. This is the key that will unlock the chains holding you back your entire life. Chains you probably didn't even know existed. And all these chains, my friend, trace back to one person: your mother. Now, before you get distracted or roll your eyes, thinking you've heard all these nonsense accusations about mothers before, I need you to understand something. This isn't about blame, pointing fingers, or making excuses. This is about understanding the single most powerful force that shaped who you are today and why you keep hitting the same walls in your life over and over again. Because until you truly recognize this fundamental truth about your relationship with your mother, you will remain trapped in repeating patterns, habitual emotional and behavioral scripts. These patterns keep you limited, fearful, and stop you from becoming the person you were meant to be. I've spent years studying human behavior, diving deeply into the psychology of transformation, working with thousands of people who felt trapped in their own lives. And let me tell you what may shock you. Every single breakthrough, every deep transformation, every moment someone finally frees themselves from their limitations traces back to one realization: about their mother. Not fathers, siblings, friends, teachers, or bosses. The mother. Your mother was not just the person who brought you into the world. She was the one who fed you, clothed you, supported your life. She was your universe, your first experience of love, your safety, your first experience of approval before you even had words to describe emotions. Before you even knew you were separate from her, your nervous system was learning how to exist based on her energy, emotions, and state of being. Think about it. In your first months, you didn't even know where you ended and she began. You were literally connected to her energetic field, absorbing every emotion, fear, joy, worry that she felt. Your little developing brain was a sponge, absorbing not only what she said or did, but what she felt, what she believed about herself, about you, about the world. And all this happened before your conscious mind could filter or question it. That is why the relationship with your mother is so different from any other relationship you will ever have. It's neurological, physiological, and psychological. The structures set in your psyche during those early months and years became the template for how your nervous system reacts to everything. They shaped how you experience love, safety, and your own worth. And here's where it becomes truly profound. Your mother influenced you not just by what she did right or wrong, but by what she believed about herself. She carried her own wounds, fears, and limiting beliefs, inherited from her mother, and her mother before her. Whether she realized it or not, and she passed all of that to you. If your mother didn't believe she was worthy of love, you absorbed that energy. If she feared taking risks, you absorbed that fear. If she felt she had to be perfect to be accepted, you absorbed that pressure. If she thought the world was dangerous, you absorbed that anxiety. And most importantly, if she didn't know how to regulate her own emotions, you never learned how to regulate yours. That's why you may find yourself struggling with the same issues she struggled with, even though you promised yourself you would be different. That's why you attract the same types of relationships, make the same choices, hit the same walls. Because the programs installed in your subconscious during those formative years still run you. Until you consciously recognize them and work to change them, they control your life. But here's what I want you to understand, and this is crucial. None of this is your mother's fault. None of it is your fault. She did the best she could with the level of awareness she had at the time. She loved you the only way she knew how, based on how she was loved, based on what she believed about love, based on her own capacity to love. The truth is, most mothers parent from their own unhealed wounds, unmet needs, unconscious patterns. The problem isn't that your mother was imperfect. The problem is that we were taught to pretend those early experiences don't matter, that we should just forget and move on. We were told focusing on childhood is making excuses, that successful people don't dwell on the past. I'm here to tell you that is nonsense. You cannot heal what you refuse to feel, acknowledge, or recognize. And you cannot free yourself from patterns whose existence you deny. The maternal wound is not just what happened to you in childhood. It's how those experiences shaped your entire operating system for navigating the world as an adult. It's the stories you tell yourself about who you are and what you're capable of. It's the unconscious beliefs that drive your behavior, choices, relationships, career, and life. Let me give you some examples so you can recognize yourself in at least one pattern. Maybe you struggle with perfectionism, never feeling that what you do is enough. That voice in your head is not yours. It's your mother's, who needed you to be better, do better, be bigger than you were. Maybe you constantly people please, always putting others' needs above your own, saying yes when you want to say no. Perhaps your mother made you responsible for her emotions, teaching you your worth depended on pleasing others. Maybe you struggle with boundaries, giving and giving until you are completely depleted. Perhaps your mother saw you as an extension of herself, not a separate person. Maybe you struggle with intimacy, fearing closeness or abandonment. Perhaps your mother was emotionally unavailable or overwhelming. Maybe you constantly seek approval, never feeling confident in your own value. Perhaps your mother only gave love conditionally, based on performance or perfection. These patterns affect not just your relationships with others, but with yourself. How you speak to yourself, how you show up in the world. And recognizing them is not about making your mother a villain. It's about understanding she acted from her own wounds and limitations, and that you have the power to break these patterns. The first step is radical honesty. You must be willing to look at your relationship with your mother without guilt, obligation, or societal expectations. You must acknowledge how she let you down, not to blame her, but to validate your own experience. Until you can name what happened, feel the emotions you weren't allowed to feel, you cannot begin healing. Many get stuck thinking recognizing your mother's shortcomings makes you ungrateful or disloyal. Feeling anger or resentment about your childhood does not mean you are weak or self-pitying. It takes immense courage to face the truth about your early experiences. It takes strength to feel emotions you may have suppressed for decades. And it is essential if you want to break free from patterns that trap you. Anger is not the enemy. It is information, your psyche saying, "This was not okay. This hurt me. It was not what I needed." Until you allow yourself to feel that anger, to mourn what you didn't receive, you cannot move through to the other side, the side of compassion. Real compassion comes after acknowledging the pain, understanding your mother did the best she could with her own limitations. You cannot jump to compassion without fully processing your own pain. Even if you had a loving, supportive mother, remember, even the best-intentioned mothers have limitations and unconscious patterns that may still affect you. Perhaps she was overprotective, never allowing you to struggle or build resilience. Perhaps she shielded you from pain, leaving you ill-equipped to face criticism or rejection. The goal is not perfect mother-child relationships. It's not even necessarily maintaining a relationship. The goal is to heal your nervous system, reprogram your subconscious, and free yourself from the patterns set in early life, so you can fully express yourself as your authentic self. Understanding your maternal wound also means grieving, mourning the childhood, the mother you needed but did not have, the person you could have been. Grief is not self-pity. It's essential emotional processing. Only through grief can you move forward. As you do this work, your relationship with your mother may change, externally, in how you interact, or internally, in how you feel. Both are valid. Some will develop authentic connections. Others may create distance or end the relationship. There is no right or wrong. What matters is choosing consciously, from self-care, not from guilt or unconscious patterns. Self-care, setting boundaries, healing your wounds is not selfish. In fact, it is the most unselfish act, because it stops the cycle of passing unresolved wounds to others and future generations. Healing your maternal wound is not just personal development. It's evolutionary work. Every person who heals their generational patterns contributes to the healing of humanity itself. When one person heals, it creates ripple effects far beyond their own life. Fundamental takeaway: your maternal experiences shaped you deeply, but they do not define your limits. By understanding, grieving, and reparenting yourself, you gain the power to break cycles, reclaim your life, and choose consciously how you show up in the world. This is not optional. It is essential for your freedom, your fulfillment, and the legacy you leave to those around you. And, if this message resonates with you, please support the channel, subscribe, leave a like, and share your thoughts in the comments. It helps us reach more people who need to hear this. Your engagement is part of this healing ripple.